I need new music.
This is the JJO Discover New Music Podcast.
All right, welcome to another episode of Discover New Music, and very excited to have our guest this week because it seems like you can't turn around in the music world without hearing rumblings of everyone's new favorite band, and that is, of course, Sleep Theory. Joining me is Cullen Moore. Cullen, how are you, my friend?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. It's good to be on here, man.
Excited to chat with you. Excited to chat Sleep Theory and really, and like I said, kicking this off, the excitement around this band and what you guys have been doing, not just from fans, but from also fellow musicians alike that seem to be falling in love with you guys. I don't want to make assumptions, but I have a feeling that your time as a band has been less than normal because you formed in 2019, got together with the rest of the fellas. Pandemic hits not long after, and some people may have taken that as a sign. Maybe like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do this thing. Luckily, you guys stayed with us. Maybe walk us through that journey, because I'm sure it was anything less than typical for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, in 2019, I started the project, and it was from 2019 up until 2020, probably about the midway through 2022, mid-2020, 2021, I'm sorry. Whenever I finally met Paolo and I invited him to be a part of the project, come to the studio, see what we were cooking up. And he, after convincing him to do it, because he didn't want to, he was just trying to be modest, and he was like, oh, I'll do photography for free. And I peer pressured him into giving music a shot, as far as like playing bass and stuff, because he already played drums, piano, he sings, and all those things. But he joined in 2021, and then it was around 2023, end of 2022, whenever I found Ben, because Paolo introduced me to him. And then Ben is the younger brother of Daniel, so it's kind of a no-brainer there. And we got Daniel on board in 2023.
Yeah. And it worked out, and you guys kept it through, and then dropped Paper Hearts, all these pieces falling into place for Sleep Theory, and Paper Hearts did very well. Most new bands would be over the moon, and I'm sure you guys were with that type of early success in streaming alone. Then you announced Afterglow. Stuck in My Head, again, does very well as the follow-up singles. I'm sure when you first dreamed this up and got everything together, I'm sure you hoped for success, but has it been kind of shocking? Has it taken you aback maybe with how well you guys have been received at this point?
Yeah, no, it's definitely been interesting to see. I as an individual, I've always had a lot of was the belief in myself, and I've always been very headstrong. So I knew that at some point, if I kept pushing, I'd get to where I wanted to be eventually. I am surprised that it took off so quickly, but it's definitely a blessing, and it definitely is something that I'm proud of.
Yeah. Well, you guys should be, and it's exciting to see. And again, and like I kicked this off saying, you can't really turn around in the music world at this point without seeing Sleep Theory and what's going on with it. So we got the new album. It drops Afterglow on May 16th. We're going to get the full Sleep Theory experience. I want to talk about your background though, because obviously anyone can find this here, and just in my research I saw that you served in the Army, which thank you for your service, by the way. I want to kick off by saying that I know you guys don't do it for the accolades or the praise. It was something that you followed with in your father's footsteps, and also musically is something you've really pulled from your dad. Talk about that, because I know the influences from your dad and his love of music and what he had and how that transfers to you. When you listen to Sleep Theory, you see a lot of those musical influences come in from your dad.
Yeah. So my dad has definitely always been, inspiration to me. If it wasn't for him, I definitely probably wouldn't be as interested in being a musician. I mean, I probably find it interesting, and I probably would
Hmm.
pursue it. But he was definitely the if the word is, if I'm using it correctly, the catalyst
Yeah.
to me wanting to get this far into things. He sings. My grandmother sang. You know, a lot of my family sings. So it's just in the blood. To musically, it's always been in the blood. But whenever I was a kid, he has this VHS of him and my mom that he wrote the song for her. And as a kid, I would always watch this. Excuse me. I'd always watch that music video over and over again, and I always thought that it was super cool to watch and see, and it definitely was something that inspired me to do the music.
I love it. I love it. That's so cool that you have that memory there and that thing. Would you ever want to cover that song? Maybe put your own Sleep Theory twist on Dad's song to Mom?
Yeah, no. So I actually spoke about it too with my dad. You know, there's a lot of songs um, that he wrote that he just never did anything with. So me and him always talked about, like, if if things ever got to a good point, I'd probably go back and redo those as
That's so
sleeping
cool.
songs.
I love it. I don't think many artists can say that. I think that's so cool to have that connection there and something really special. So maybe Afterglow, maybe we'll have a special songs from Dad EP from the Cullen Moore catalog. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the album. Do you have maybe a favorite track on there, or a track that speaks to you more than the rest?
Honestly, I can say with confidence, I do not.
Yeah.
I think that every song is special with themselves.
I know that's like trying to pick a favorite kid, and you guys are so close to it and everything. When did the actual writing process with this begin? Because again, I know you had Paper Hearts, and it's kind of been like Paper Hearts / Afterglow. Has this been kind of a quick work, or what was it built over time as you worked on Paper Hearts and then said, "Hey, we got something here. Let's do a full one"?
Some of the songs were written back in 2019.
Wow.
Or 2021. The one of the songs on there is called Gravity. It was the third song that I ever wrote with our producer. So that's been done since 2021. Now it had some changes,
Right,
but I mean,
right.
it's still at the core of what it is and what it was.
I'm sure, and with that, and then having some time, you can always almost be over analytic of that, and like you said, have some changes in there. Well, I think it's, I'm sure, again, don't want to put words in your mouth. It's probably very relieving having now that time and that work finally come together with this latest record and finally getting it out there to the fans.
Yes, of course. Yes.
One thing too, kind of going back to your influences, and just I read this really, really well done article, and talking about your background and your family and everything like that, and also your influences. And I think I caught in there like Temptations and Boys to Men. If someone is listening to this new record or what they've heard so far, do you think what would maybe be some things that stand out to them? Maybe like, oh, okay, I can hear the Boys to Men, I can hear the Temptations, I can hear this. Is there anything that maybe would really stand out to anybody?
Honestly, the Temptations isn't as big of an influence.
Yeah.
Like Boys to Men, I'd probably say is a bigger influence. But even still, then I think it's more so just because naturally I just have an R&B voice.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Gravity 1000%. You'll hear it. You'll hear it.
I wonder if maybe on tour you'll ever bust out maybe like the old Boys to Men threads, like they get the band in like the matching suits and everything, and some choreographed dance moves with it.
Probably not that, but just come and see us on this tour.
I love it.
I'll just say that.
We'll work on that for the follow-on, the choreographed dance moves and the matching.
Yeah. I think that people will be pleasantly surprised when they see us on tour.
Oh man, I love it. Which, by the way, again, it just going back to the original statement and just the buzz around you guys. You got on pretty well. Tell people who you're going to be going out with, and you got a big summer ahead of you.
Yeah, man. So this is our first headline tour that we're doing. We're going out with our boys in Nevertell. If you haven't heard of them, you definitely should. They are doing an amazing job right now. They are just amazing musicians, amazing individuals. How people are always going to say it, but I mean, I genuinely mean it. They are absolutely fantastic. We're going out with Oxymorons as well. Like I said, it sounds like a broken record, but I'm not going to say it unless I mean it. They're great individuals, and secondly, they're great musicians. And Strayview, I think, is a hidden gem that people know but don't know that they're going to find out about here soon, and I think they're going to pop off. So
I love it. And of course, your headlining tour, which I mean, that did not take long to get you guys on that, along with being out with some other major bands. So I think it's great. Well, Cullen, man, I'm super excited for you guys, and I think everyone is in for a real treat. Afterglow officially drops on May 16th. If you haven't already heard them, you're going to very soon, and even more so. Well, hey, now that we got the important stuff out of the way, we're going to do rapid fire. I do this with everyone. There's no wrong answers on this. So you just go with what moves you, what you're feeling. All right, let's start simple. Sneakers or sandals?
Sneakers.
Billy Ocean or Billy Idol?
Billy Ocean.
God, I love Billy Ocean so much. I love them both, but Billy Ocean's fantastic. Yacht rock. I've gotten really into yacht rock. I don't know if you know that term, but I've been listening to a lot of Doobie Brothers, Jay Ferguson, and Billy Ocean's always in there. Anyway, let's do another name one. David Bowie or David Lee Roth?
Neither, because I have no clue you're talking about.
Oh, I think I showed my age with that one. Son of a gun. All right. How about pizza or cheeseburgers?
I'd probably say a burger.
Burger? Okay. What about this is the good here. This one will get you really thinking. Would you rather take a Chuck Norris roundhouse kick at 100% power or a Mike Tyson punch at 50% power?
Well, I mean, either one, because I mean, obviously they aim at me. So,
all right. That's, by the way, the first time anyone has confidently said, "Look out, Chuck Norris and Mike Tyson." So, you know what? That is a first here on Rapid Fire.
Hey, look, you can throw them in at the same time. I'd probably tell them to put a little bit more spice on it.
I love the confidence. I love the bravado. More importantly, I'm just so happy I got to chat with you, Cullen. Again, congratulations on the success, and can't wait to hear more. Afterglow from Sleep Theory drops May 16th, and we really appreciate it, brother.
Of course, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Listen, rate, share, subscribe. Discover new music now at WJJO.com, in the JJO app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Brock has a new interview every Thursday evening between 6 and 7. 94.1 JJO.